Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Match Bell Podcast, the place where we talk all things wrestling, past and present. Today, we're doing a review of last night's Payback. If you agree or disagree with us, leave notes in the comments below. And for more content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you prefer to listen to us on the go, you can also find us on all your favourite podcast apps. I'm your host today. My name is Alex. And today, joining me, I have Richard.
Hi.
We have Liam.
Hello.
And we have Steve.
Bask in my glory.
Okie doke. So, it was Payback last night. Payback was at the Thunderdome, as most things these days, due to the whole COVID-19 situation. Overall, I enjoyed this pay-per-view. Thought it was really good. I think it's what SummerSlam should have been. Because the caliber of the matches were just 10 times better. So, quick mention, we had the pre-show. None of us predicted the pre-show, but it was Riot Squad versus the Iconics, and the Riot Squad picked up the win. They actually
It's
got
so obvious now.
Yeah.
Now thinking back, it was so obvious.
They were actually allowed to tell a story with a whole 9 minutes.
It was good for what it was.
Rather than the casual 2-minute sections that they get on the whole Raw and SmackDown.
It's a really good match. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. Like, there's a good bit of conflict between Liv and Ruby, even though they came out in matching ring gear, which obviously means nothing.
It was probably one of the best pre-show matches I can think of for a while.
Yeah, can agree with that.
I can only think of one other, but
what's the one other? Oh, do you mean one other
the
pre-show?
The SummerSlam.
Sorry, I thought you meant one.
Yeah.
I thought you meant one other good pre-show match. And
No, just one other pre-show match in general. I was just thinking of the one last week.
Do all the matches from WrestleMania Day 1 count as pre-show matches? Is that a thing?
Yeah, definitely.
That's how you view it.
Five Fun House. Oh no, that was
The Fun House was the best pre-show
That was
match
night.
I've seen.
That was night 2. Wasn't night 1 Taker AJ? Or am I getting it the wrong way around?
Oh, you might be right, actually.
It's all one
It
big
doesn't
blur.
matter. Let's move on.
It doesn't matter. Okie doke. So we opened the main show with Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley for the US Championship. They're still using the old title graphic.
It's unfair though.
We keep telling you that.
Shocking.
It's a process getting someone back from furlough. You have to
Yeah.
give them a week's notice. You have to.
Yeah. Working from home isn't a thing at all, is it?
No,
Anyway, Bobby Lashley picked up the win with a full Nelson in 9 minutes and 30. Apollo decided to attack Bobby after the match, just shouting, "Give me back my belt," even though he just lost it cleanly.
Bit of Healy, wasn't it?
Oh, God.
It was a little bit Healy, but it just made no sense.
Weird.
Standard Apollo Crews match, I think, and just yeah.
Do you mean standard as in he lost?
Yeah.
Just like a
We're back to the
beat
old
for beat
Apollo.
kind of beat for beat match. It's just normal service and resume now, isn't it?
It's got a very specific style that he wrestles, hasn't it? And it seems like it's almost like he's got that John Cena, Randy Orton bug where all of the matches are a bit formulaic and you kind of know what's going to happen in each
Well,
one.
he's been doing it for so long. I thought the match was okay. I was surprised with the ending. I don't know. I just didn't expect him to win. He hit him with the Nelson from The Simpsons, as R-Truth called it before the show. And JBL got very angry with him for that because nobody understood him.
Stephen, you do realise you predicted him to win?
But I'm still surprised because I don't expect any. I'm just being an idiot on prediction. I don't expect any of my predictions to come true.
You said it then, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Stephen said it. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I also predicted a one-eye training montage with the Mysterios, but did that happen?
No. In fact, Stephen, you also said it was going to end in submission.
I know, because he does the Nelson from The Simpsons. I don't know, watching it, forgetting my predictions because I was just being an idiot that day, and I was surprised. And did you all caught that the most embarrassing thing in the world afterwards, where they did the photo shoot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was
because that's definitely how photos work.
I was hurting inside. I was cringing so much. It was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen on TV.
Oh, but I liked them paying tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
That's nice, but the whole
That was nice.
camera on them when they started posing and
I mean
photos.
that bit was a bit weird, but it's
when they did the tribute backstage, they've got a photo on the on social media and stuff. Amazing, that's great. Like really nice thing to do. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. What I'm saying is the way the camera was coming round and it turned into a photo and it kept doing it with different poses and stuff. And that's what hurt.
They're trying to get that paparazzi sort of feel to them, though, aren't they? Where they're like larger than life, bigger than they are.
Oh, I hate it. Anyway,
it's a bit weird.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on the match. Okay.
Go on, Liam. What did you think?
I thought it was a really good match, actually. I think Apollo Crews is really, really good. I was surprised that Lashley won it, even though I did predict Lashley to win.
Yes, did you just copy me?
Because I sort of felt like Lashley had to win the match when we were doing predictions, but then at the same time, I also mentioned that I felt like maybe they were just going to make Apollo run the gauntlet and fight all of the Hurt Business, and now he doesn't really get the chance to fight Shelton for the title. So, but no, I thought the match was good. Lashley's just an absolute beast. I think he always looks good nowadays. I mean, if you look back at his 2007 stuff, not so much, but he looks good now. So,
is that your favourite era of wrestling as well? Yeah.
I mean, it might be.
Your favourite? That when you get your favourite wrestler, Umaga.
My favourite wrestler, Umaga. Yeah, rest in peace, Umaga. But yeah, no, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I like a submission finish, so it was nice to see.
You don't get it very much, do you? It's nice to see.
No.
Richard, what about you?
I always see Bobby Lashley as being some like mega. Like you look at him and he's just got the physique of someone that should be headlining every show. Like he should always be in the championship picture. But it just seems a bit weird seeing him wrestling Apollo Crews for like a mid. Like not the top title. Like obviously all titles are important, but I think if he had lost this, it would have been just another negative on like another blemish on what has been quite a bad return from him. Really, I don't feel like he's. I feel like when you look at McIntyre coming back to the WWE, and they've put him in title pictures and they make him look like an absolute beast. I just don't think they did that with Bobby well, and I'd really think of him as being some mega superstar. So I'm glad he won. It was a better match than I expected, and obviously the feud's going to continue, so we'll see what happens next. But it was good, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you all. It was a decent match. Personally, I think I'd have been happy seeing it on the pre-show, but that's my opinion.
You love the pre-show. Don't you?
Yeah, I do love a good pre-show. It's the only bit that I can stay awake for. I'm surprised that nobody brought up the dodgy German suplexes.
Oh yeah, they weren't good.
Apollo was throwing out.
They were terrible.
They were not looking good, those.
Yeah, they were. I think he was lacking a bit of conviction behind him when he decided to go through with them.
Bobby's not exactly a light guy either, is he? Like,
he's huge.
No,
like,
I did bring up though.
Doing about 280.
Yeah, I did bring up though that Apollo's thigh is thicker than Bobby's like midriff.
He's got those Ezekiel Jackson shoulders as well, hasn't he? Where he's got like muscles coming out like this.
Yeah, muscles on his muscles.
He's massive.
He's an absolute monster.
Muscles on his muscles.
Good shout out there to Ezekiel Jackson as well. He was a beast.
Yeah, shout out to Big Zeke.
Save it for the retros.
Sorry.
Okie doke. So moving on from this, we got a clip from SmackDown from Friday night showing Roman backstage saying that he will not just win his title back. He's going to come and wreck everybody and leave, and it's not just a prediction but a spoiler. And we get shown that he's sided with Paul Heyman now. Following on from that, we then get Kayla outside Roman's locker room, sort of asking Paul Heyman a couple of questions. Heyman gives her a bit of banter back, and we find out that Roman's still not signed the contract for the main event tonight. Then we move on to another backstage segment of Keith Lee talking to JBL in the locker room. JBL offers Keith a little bit of
investment advice,
and Keith Lee basically says, "Bro, I'm not that rich." JBL says, "If you win tonight, then you will be, so don't worry about it." We then get a look back at the Talking Smack segment, which announced the Big E versus Sheamus match, which none of us got to predict because it came so late. But basically, Big E says he's going to stick to what he knows and he's going to be a bit more serious about everything nowadays. We then get the Big E versus Sheamus match. Big E won the match with a big ending in 12 minutes 20. Big E, after the match, decided to go and shout at Corey quite a lot. I felt quite sorry for Corey, but he was basically saying, "Look, I'm worth it. Look at me." And Sheamus looked a bit deflated at ringside after the match. I didn't mind this match. There's definitely better matches on the card to follow, but it was okay, I guess. What did you think, Rich?
It was pretty good actually. I enjoyed it. To say that Big E was saying he was going to take it a bit more seriously, I remember seeing a little bit of gyration in the match, which was a bit like, but
Look at that.
it was nice to see. I feel like I've not watched Sheamus in a while wrestle, so it was nice to see him wrestling again. And it's nice to see that they're taking the Big E storyline seriously while the other lads are out.
Yeah.
I feel like he shouted at. Did he shout at Curry twice? Did he walk off and then come back and do it again?
Yeah.
Like he forgot that he did.
Yeah.
It was a good match. I remember I can't. It was really early this morning that I watched it, so I can't remember specifics, but there was some good spots. It was I enjoyed watching it. It was good.
Good. Yeah, straight to the point. Stephen, what did you think?
I really enjoyed this match. What Richard was saying. I enjoyed Big E. I just think he's great. Coming down, chucking his coat at the commentators and stuff, getting in Graves' face. Some big spots. Yeah, Big E's doing some. In comparison to the last match, Big E does some beautiful belly-to-belly suplexes of Sheamus in the match. Some really good points like that. A lot of submissions from Sheamus as well, working Big E's leg a lot, trying to take him down. I enjoyed a lot of that. Big E face planted the hardest part of the ring. There was that point. That looked painful. It's the right way to start building him up. Because trying to go for a title eventually, having him go over a guy like Sheamus with the kind of attitude that he just wouldn't give up. Sheamus was on top for a lot of the points, and Big E just wouldn't give up, would he? And I think it's the right finish. I'm interested in where this storyline's going.
It was a fairly even contest. I did feel like Sheamus was going to win it at one point. It did really well at swerving that.
Yeah, it was a bit 50-50. Liam, what do you reckon?
I think this match was really good. I really like Sheamus as a wrestler. And I really like Big E as a wrestler as well. And I thought they did a really good job in the ring together. I expected it to be more of sort of two big men going at it. But Sheamus actually, two big beefy men bumping meat. But
that's the one.
It wasn't actually a lot of meat bumping, to be honest, was there? Sheamus really impressed me with the amount of submission finishes
Yeah, he had loads.
submission moves that he knew to try and get the finish. He had like heel hooks, he had knee bars.
I think he had a one-leg Boston Crab at one point.
Yeah, single-legged Boston. He went for a cloverleaf at one point, which ended up becoming more like a sharpshooter. I don't think he really hooked in the cloverleaf as well as he wanted to. So I was really impressed with Sheamus's like mat wrestling skills. I thought they were really good. And then just that sort of determination from Big E. It's building up a storyline, isn't it? Where it's like we saw it with Kofi, that sort of drive to never give up and to sort of persevere. And now they're doing it with Big E, and I think it works really well. Especially when he's so outspoken on like socials about sort of the struggles that he's been through, being a person of colour and all that sort of thing. So I think it's nice. I think it's a good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a solid pay-per-view match. Wholeheartedly agree with like everything that you guys have said. To be honest, like there's definitely some good spots. The amount of submissions that we saw throughout this whole pay-per-view, to be honest, like it's crazy.
This, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's as if somebody listened to us sort of like slagging off the fact that nobody has a submission these days. Like, look,
somebody was going through
submissions.
Someone must have been going through all pay-per-views and was like, "Oh my god, do you remember WWE Breakpoint? Shall we do that?"
Wow, that is a deep cut.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, but no, yeah, it was a good, solid Big E win. Nice to see him sticking. Yeah, he does need submission now after all that. Like, just needs one in the arsenal to pull out every match or so.
I think every main star needs a submission. Like Cena's got his STF, Randy's got his headlock. Like
a headlock is definitely up there.
It's not a rest hold when it's in Randy's arsenal.
Oh.
No, not at all. Karrion Kross could learn a few things.
all the top women have got submissions, aren't they? Pretty much.
Yeah.
A lot of submission wrestling in the women's.
Great. Bank statement.
Does Nia have
Probably.
one? I don't think Nia has one.
Maybe not Nia. Oh, did she do the bear hug sometimes?
I don't know.
I'm sure I remember seeing her do that. Maybe that's why I like.
We can talk about women's submissions in a bit, can't we?
Yeah.
Well,
we'll get to it.
Very, very soon. Okay, so moving on from that match, we got a backstage. Not backstage. Sorry, we got a package showing Matt Riddle beating Shorty G on SmackDown and Corbin attacking him after the match, which basically set up what we're getting now, which is Matt Riddle versus Baron Corbin. Riddle beat Corbin with a floating bro in 10 minutes and 55 seconds. Following on from this match, we got a backstage segment of Corbin attacking Riddle, putting him through a buffet table, wasting tons of food, and a discount Kurt Hawkins lookalike shouted for help. But yeah, let's get into the match. I enjoyed this match. I don't mind Matt Riddle as a wrestler. I'm a big fan of how he jumps over the rope and flips his flip-flops off. Which was cut short.
That's it, just that.
Yeah, just that.
That's it.
If the match finished there, he'd be happy.
Yeah, just done. If a flip-flop just went rogue and hit Corbin in the eye, and he was like, ah, and then he pinned him after that.
Yeah, or separated his shoulder.
Yeah, and then gave us rest holds for the rest of the match. No, I enjoyed it. There was yet again lots of submission work, which teased me a little bit because I predicted Matt Riddle by submission, I believe, and he got the pinfall, which was a little bit annoying.
Damn.
Which I'm assuming Rich is just checking.
No, you got it right. You got pinfall.
Oh, did I guess pinfall?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he would have done submission. Crazy. Oh, fair enough. I retract my words. I got that right.
All three of you.
It doesn't matter. Liam won.
Oh no, he didn't. No.
Spoilers.
Bask in my glory.
I was going to announce that before the end of the show, but seeing as though Stephen's spoiling it for everybody. Well done, Liam. You are the new predictions champion.
Stephen didn't
Hooray!
spoil it.
Thank you. I'd like to thank my fans. I'd like to thank my mum.
Perfect.
I'm coming. Yeah. I'll be in the Hall of Fame next.
Yeah, shame no one cares. Anyway, Richard, what were your thoughts on this match?
I've not seen a lot of Tom Riddle.
Tom Riddle.
What's that? That's Harry Potter, that, isn't it? What was that?
Voldemort.
Oh my days! Why would I have said that? Oh my days! That's embarrassing. I've not seen a lot of Riddle, but I was very impressed with this match. It was nice to when it. I was a little bit dozing off towards the end, but not anything to do with the match. And when he said the bro to sleep, I was like, what? So I had to go back and watch that. I was like, oh, it is GTS. Nice one.
BTS.
GTS.
BTS.
Yeah, no, but it is a pushy face.
Yeah, I know.
Wind up. Yeah, it was a good match. I actually think this is the best Corbin match I have ever watched.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
It was so good.
One thing that annoyed me, I think something on commentary got said where they said that one of them mentioned that Corbin is one of the best big men in wrestling ever.
No, they're thinking he's going to be one of the.
Oh, he's going to be.
Oh,
somebody,
right, okay.
I think somebody on the pre-show panel said.
I think it was Booker T.
Probably JBL.
Yeah. I think it was Booker T. Actually, now that you say that, yeah, Booker T predicts that he's going to be one of the
Fave 5
biggest men
ever.
It's my favourite. Shucky ducky quack quack.
But yeah, Corbin, best match ever. And then I loved that, because it kind of tied in with what Steven said when he said this will be like a 6th month, match going on,
feud.
And feud. And then they go into the back and Tom Riddle. Matt Riddle's like, I'm glad that's over and done with now. And then out of nowhere, Corbin comes in, and then you're like, oh, it is actually going to be another 6-month feud. Congratulations, WWE, on booking a match every pay-per-view now. Can we just call him Tom Riddle? Is that easier?
Yes.
I don't even like Harry Potter. I don't even like it.
Anyway.
Right, let's get away from the Harry Potter talk. Stephen, what did you think of the match?
Unlike Richard, I have seen a lot of Tom Riddle before, watching a lot of NXT. And even now watching him after all these matches, it still scares me that someone's going to stand on his toe and break it.
Like a Sin Cara finger thing.
Yeah, no, it was great. Corbin was really aggressive in this match. He was, you could see there's such aggression. The only times Riddle was getting back on top was when Corbin made a mistake. Like he got a bit frustrated. He sat there for too long, and Riddle grabbed him into submission and stuff. There's a lot of aggression from Corbin in this one. I really appreciated that.
Riddle didn't fall for the sliding through underneath the rope and that round thing that he does.
Yeah, like
an
elongated 619. Is that what
yeah, well, it's finished on a clothesline.
It's terrible. I hate it so much. It's so bad. It's like Dean Ambrose's.
Going through the ropes and coming back.
Oh, the rope clothesline. Yeah.
It's becoming overused.
But yeah, Corbin outpowered him, but Riddle kept outsmarting him and just getting back on top. And I really enjoyed that story. Some really good spots. When Riddle kicked him in the kidney or liver or whatever, that actually looked painful.
And he sold it as well.
Corbin, I don't know if he was selling really well or he was actually screaming out in pain. Because it sounded like he was actually screaming out in pain when this MMA fighter has just kicked him in the liver or whatever. But
he might have internal bleeding.
Again, like Richard said, this is definitely my favourite Corbin match I've seen. I was really impressed with him. I think these two seem to have really good chemistry together, and they played off the whole story really well.
Yeah, fair. Liam, what did you reckon?
So I'm going to be a little bit contrarian here to what everyone else has said. Because everyone else has really bigged up Matt Riddle. But I actually think that Baron Corbin was the one that carried this match. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a Baron Corbin match where Corbin's done so well. He told a fantastic story. His selling was on point. He actually looked like a threatening big man, like they're trying to make him out to be. I enjoyed the spots where he does like the turnbuckle feint into the clothesline. Just everything about him. His whole ring presence was good. The storytelling, like the in-ring psychology that he was bringing was really good. And honestly, I really do think that he was the one that made this match, and Matt Riddle was just sort of along for the ride. Which is not to take away from Matt Riddle, because he's a fantastic athlete. Like the submissions, the way he was being able to wrap Corbin up like a pretzel just out of nowhere was really impressive. But I honestly
did look a bit salty.
Yeah, he did. But I think I honestly have to give props to Corbin for this one more so than anyone else. Yeah, I'm just sad that Riddle didn't come down in a Death Eater costume or like Slytherin or something.
Could you say
Really
that
play
it's
into that.
Could you say that it's took Riddle to make Corbin look good though?
Ooh.
I mean, you could argue that. Yeah, I suppose you could argue that way. Because the stuff that he did with like Roman, God, it was bad, wasn't it? But the stuff that he did last night with Riddle like looked really, really good. So I don't know whose ideas it was going into that match or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
maybe someone backstage just said, unlike Roman Riddle, you are allowed to sell some of these moves.
that actually could be the real reason. But
you could say
I thought it was
that
good.
you could say that Riddle made magic here. That was really bad. That was even worse.
That was awful.
They're getting steadily worse now.
I know, yeah.
And my salted pretzel joke has just been redeemed.
That's what I'm here for. That is literally why.
Yeah. No, thank you.
You're very welcome.
The liver shot looked painful though. God.
It did. I thought the whole sort of thing might have been Corbin's going to benefit from having these leaner guys to work with, because Riddle worked really well with him, but it's like, do you know when he hit the deep six, it just looked a lot more dangerous.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a good deep
six. Throwing a leaner guy around rather than trying to do it to somebody like Roman, who's just this brick wall that you're trying to swing around your body kind of thing. So it just looks a little bit more believable, but I think I'd need to see him going forward having more matches with more leaner guys, basically. But we're not going to get that for 6 more months.
I can see Corbin being the king of the mid card.
It's already the mid card of this. Yeah, it's already the mid card of doom, isn't it? Like
he's sort of like the gatekeeper.
He didn't actually think that. He just wanted to get a king reference in. Don't worry, Efra.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Right, okay, so moving on. So after Discount Kurt Hawkins shouted for help for Matt Riddle, we moved into a package that showed the rise of Banks and Bailey as the women's tag team champs from the end of May, I believe, was when they won the championships from Nikki and Alexa. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, they've held them for a long time, which obviously foreshadows them losing them tonight. Especially when they came out first, because we all know champions come out second. Anyway, yep. So we got the Banks and Bailey match versus Shayna and Nia. Shayna won when she got Banks and Bailey in submissions and used Sasha's arm to choke out Bailey, making a tap. The match lasted 10 minutes and 20 seconds. From what I saw, there was some lovely double team moves from both of them. Once Shayna and Nia got the sort of swing of things as a team, I think they worked quite well together. I thought Nia whacking Sasha off the barricade looked a little bit harsh, but I don't know whether that's just coming from everybody judging Nia for how she just abuses people. Yeah. Following after this match as well, Bailey has lost Sasha another belt, and Sasha looked a little bit disappointed at Bailey as well.
Banks.
No belts, Banks, and one belt Bailey.
Banks.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Bailey, you no straps.
Right, I'm gonna go to Liam first on this one. Liam, what did you reckon?
Okay. I think this was my favourite match of the night. Which was surprising. It caught me by surprise when I was looking back and sort of in hindsight being like, God, I really enjoyed that women's match. I think Nia and Shayna put on a surprisingly good tag team spectacle. They had really interesting chemistry together in the ring, which I didn't see coming. The spot that you mentioned with Sasha getting absolutely blitz bombed into the barricades. Yeah. When I first saw it, I was like, and this was about 2:00 in the morning. I was like, "Oh my god!" and then I quickly realized, like in the replay, that she gets her elbows up to defend her head, and I was like, "Oh, right, okay, so she's not brain damaged for life then." But it's just the way Sasha can ragdoll her body to sell stuff is just like, God. She looks dead on her feet every time she takes something.
Yeah, it's like a really strange innate ability to just go limp and be like, chuck me over there at that metal thing. I'll be fine.
But it was really good. I really enjoyed the tag team wrestling. I'm really glad they took the belts off Bailey and Sasha because I think it needed to happen for their feud. That they're building to, because if anyone thinks that they're not building to a feud between those two, what's wrong with you? Clearly you taking too many barricade shots to the head if you think they're not trying to get a feud going with them too. Nia looked impressive, which is fantastic. I think it's sort of redeemed her a little bit in a way. And then just that finish, oh my god, that finish was just incredible. I don't think I've ever seen someone tap out two people at once by themselves.
Using the other person to tap out.
Like, whoever came up with that idea, I imagine it must have been Shayna that came up with the idea.
Not actually tapping two people out, but I feel like I've seen Natalia put the sharpshooter on two people at the same time before.
Yeah, she put it Lake Hole. Yeah, she did it to Lake Hole.
But they didn't kick out from it, tap out, from it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think this one. I think this has got more oomph though because it was two individual submissions rather than because we've seen Rusev do the accolade to 3 people at once, but that's just doing the accolade. Whereas what did Shayna had? What's her finisher called?
Kirifuda clutch.
Kirifuda clutch.
Kirifuda's clutch.
And then she had a leg lock on as well, didn't she, onto Sasha?
Yeah.
Bending her back.
It was very pretty.
It looked so nice.
It was so good.
But yeah, I really, really like this match.
Yeah, I think it showed that she's just deadly with any appendage.
Yeah.
Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And I liked a little bit at the end.
Ray's eye. Does that count as an appendage?
Yes, it does.
But she can't use it yet because it's still attached to the
I'll wait.
But yeah, I thought it was good, and just the way they were that, it made me laugh when they were celebrating after they won, and then they hugged for the fraction of a second before they realised that hang on, we don't actually like each other.
Yeah, and Nia's just and
Shayna
was just keeping it really classy, whatever.
Nia's the most obnoxious, self-gratifying winner ever. It was so good. I just really liked it.
I think it's been so long since she's actually had a belt.
Has she had one before?
She had the Raw Women's title when Alexa was body shaming her.
Oh god, yeah.
You know, the whole be a star.
Yeah,
be a bully.
That's probably why I forgot that.
Yeah. Okay, so Steve, what did you reckon?
I'm just gonna have to second everything Liam said. This was my favourite match of the night. This was such a good match. Like I said before, I think I've come to the realization of the conversation earlier that the women's division is probably my favourite because I love like mat submission wrestling, that kind of stuff. I've always loved that stuff. From guys like Kurt Angle, and I could talk all day about that. But yeah, they looked great as a team. Who I've now known as Shania. Shayna and Nia looks great. I didn't expect anything from them. I expected it to end. I don't know. I felt like they should have dropped the titles, but I didn't think it would happen coming in, even though I predicted it again. Oh, I was being stupid again. I love Nia using people as weapons, but in a safe way. Sasha's just so good at selling, so good in the ring. Bayley's incredible. Shayna, they're all just such incredible performers. I love the bit where Nia went to do the leg drop and Bayley shifted out the way and got her into a leg lock. I countered that into a submission. That was so good. Yeah, the finish. I mean, what an inventive finish. What an incredible way to end the match. Just makes Shayna look like an absolute beast again, which I think is something they needed to do again because
she lost
having
a bit
to
of
lose,
steam.
It completely ruined her whole push, didn't it? Losing that, she should have won that match really against Becky. She should have. There's no risk.
She should have won Money in the Bank just to redeem it.
Won Money in the Bank. Yeah, there's been so many moments throughout.
Yeah. If only we knew that Becky was going to get pregnant, I think they would have let her win that one.
Possibly, but yeah, this seems like there's something Vince doesn't see in her that everyone else in the world seems to see in her. That she should be champion.
That's not a thing that happens, is it?
What? Oh, right.
Vince is in touch. I don't know what you're on about.
Vince is so in touch with the fans. Watching that CM Punk thing the other week, it really is so true. He's like, Vince doesn't listen to the fans. He doesn't care about the fans and stuff. It's so true. But yeah,
that's a future.
Oh
yeah, that's coming up.
I have Money in the Bank review. Yeah, such a great match. Bayley losing the title, losing Sasha all of her titles over this last week. Yeah, as Liam said, in his harsh words, if you didn't see this coming.
2 belts in a week.
Yeah, but great match. Best match on the card. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Richard, what did you think?
It was my favourite match of the night, I think. It was really good. One thing I'd definitely work on is Nia's acting skills. I think there was like a pre-match little cameo thing in the back where she was like, "Oh, I don't like you," and all this and I was like, "Oh, she's so bad at acting, it's ridiculous." And then she just starts doing like some jumps, and it was a bit weird. Like Shayna's doing a little boxing thing, and Nia Jax just started jumping, and it was like, how weird. And then during the match, Nia did one thing that I really liked. There was a bit where she needed to break up a pinfall, and obviously Nia's not getting in the ring fast, so she just whizzes Sasha at them.
Yeah.
And I was like, great, that's all you need to do. That's brilliant. That's really inventive. Like, I can't get in there, I will throw you at them instead. Brilliant.
Sasha was Nia's steel chair for that match.
Yeah. The bit on the barricade was great. Bayley and Sasha are just amazing. Like, they're obviously like really good friends, and they wrestle really well together, which just makes me think that this next feud between them is just going to be the best thing all year, really. If it's anything like the NXT matches they had, this is going to be some of the best wrestling we're going to see from these two, definitely.
Yeah.
It was a good way to finish the match. Again, Nia annoyed me at the end where she's like, "Thank you, Mum! Thank you, Dad!" Like, all that down the camera, I was like, "Oh God, this is so annoying."
But yeah, they're doing that on purpose.
She's playing the part well, though, isn't she?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe she's just not very good at that whole heel thing. But yeah, it was good. I think it was my favourite match of the night.
I wholeheartedly agree. it was one of the better matches of the night. I don't think it was my favourite. I think next match was probably my favourite. But I'll discuss that in a second. Yeah, the finish was great. Just furthering on that Banks and Bailey story, really, isn't it? I don't know where they're going to go with Shayna and Nia with these tag belts. I think they're going to drop them
straight away.
pretty quick.
And
yeah,
then go into a feud themselves.
Yeah.
Feels like they're trying to set up like a strange bedfellows sort of storyline with them two. You know, like they had with Daniel Bryan and Kane.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who do you reckon they'll
like
drop them to?
What was the doctor called that helped Kane and Daniel Bryan out?
They'll drop them to Liv and Riot, won't they?
I reckon so, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think
Yeah,
the Iconics will.
But
pick
even
them
they're
up.
a little strange bedfellows because they're not exactly happy with each other either.
No, they're not.
Oh, they got on the same page at the end of that match because he ran over to the pre-show panel and did the whole I live to riot and I riot to live. And... everybody needs a weird catchphrase these days.
That was some weird acting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously Sarah Logan's dead in this universe now.
I wonder if they'll go back. I feel like the strongest women's tag teams are on NXT. And I know Sasha and Bailey have faced NXT tag teams. I wonder if it'll become more of an NXT thing for a short while. I think that's the kind of belt they can kind of transition between brands for a bit.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that.
It'd be nice to see him cross over properly, seeing as though NXT is seen as a third brand now.
Yeah. And there's lots of women that are good wrestlers on that show as well.
Yeah, the NXT's women's divisions.
I wonder if Sarah Logan will be in Retribution.
Maybe.
After she's popped the baby out.
Oh, is she? I didn't know.
She is.
Oh, fair enough. Well, they'll have a youngest member of Retribution then, won't they? So.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Anyway.
That's why they're wearing all black. It's slimming.
Yeah.
That's why I wear it so much.
Wow. Okay.
Oh God.
What's that?
So moving on, we get a package showing Drew beating Randy at SummerSlam, and then it falls onto the episode of Raw that we got where Randy kicked Drew in the head a couple of times and gave him an apparent skull fracture with some possible bleeding of the brain. That is not how the world works. Drew is going to come back from this. Also, I think, of all people, Jerry the King Lawler corrected it on the pre-show, saying it was a fractured jaw.
Yeah, hairline fracture to the jaw.
Yeah. I think they realised that it's severely cocked up on saying he had bleeding on the brain, and they're like, oh, we need to fix this.
Well, that's what happens when you go to a medical facility, not a hospital.
Yeah.
I just imagine every time they say a medical facility that they go into like a vet's.
Yeah, Vince is like, it's cheaper.
So we're a veterinary clinic, yeah, and he's a big dog.
Oh no!
So the package ended with Keith vowing to avenge Drew. Keith Lee versus Randy Orton is the next match, obviously. So Keith won when he countered an RKO attempt into a Spirit Bomb. The match only lasted 6 minutes and 40 seconds. It was the fastest match on the card. I marked out loads when I saw Keith Lee coming out dressed as Broly from Dragon Ball Super, for anybody that doesn't know.
Don't know.
No. Fun little fact coming out of this, Randy hasn't won a match at a Payback pay-per-view.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
He doesn't get his payback.
No, so we had the tag match with, I think he was teaming with Daniel Bryan against Seth and Roman.
Okay.
He lost that one. The following year, it was The Shield versus Evolution. He lost that.
Yeah.
The next one he appeared at he had the House of Horrors match with Bray.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no,
yeah,
sorry, it was the 4-way for the title with Seth Dean and Roman. He lost that, and then the House Horrors match with Bray. He lost that,
Interesting.
and then he's
That's
lost
very
against Keith Lee now. I think he only lost against Keith Lee because it's the Legend Killer gimmick, and Keith isn't a legend.
True.
But yeah,
not yet. He's a legend in my eyes.
This was my favourite match on the card because them slaps that ran, the chops that he was giving were hella loud.
And then Keith Lee replied with one, and I didn't think it was as.
No,
it was nowhere near.
Like it was sort of a shove, wasn't it? Like
Randy put some real spice into them chops, and then Keith's Grizzly Magnum just didn't have the same impact. I was like, oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, he's got a name for that, hasn't he, as well? The double hand. And then I was to say you've got a name for it, you didn't do it very well, unfortunately.
I thought Keith just launching him out of the ring towards the announce table was good. Like, the man just doesn't cease to amaze me. He's just so athletic for a big guy. When he just he hopped over Randy, and it's like, you're 300 and odd pounds, man. Like, you don't see Big E just hopping all over the place, do you?
No, incredible.
Enough of my praise. Rich, what did you think of the match?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but I did watch Lucha Underground, and some of those big men jumped over the top ropes a lot. I'll show you one day. But yeah, it was very easy. To say it was a short match, I didn't feel like it was that short. It was good. I like the spots on the announcers table. I feel like that should be renamed to something to do with Randy Orton now, because every single match they go to the announcers table. I can't get enough of that power bomb, and then the way he picks him back up into a pinning situation. I really enjoy watching that. It's really good. I'm a big fan of Keith Lee. He's good. And I'm a big fan of Randy Orton. I feel like I've grown a bigger fan of Randy Orton over the last 12 months. So more Randy Orton, please. I'm fine with it. To say at one point I was like, I'm sick of Randy Orton wrestling Cena every single week. It's good to see Randy getting in and around and wrestling some other people. I really enjoy both men. It was good. It was a good match.
Yeah, it was almost it's almost a blessing that Edge got injured, because I think we would have just had Randy versus Edge as the new Baron Corbin 6-month feud. But we've had all this wonderful material now given to us since that happened. Liam, what were your thoughts on the match?
It was a really, really good match. It was short, it was sweet. I think it got the job done. It really put over Keith as a star. Randy's just so good, isn't it? Everything he does in the ring is just so fluid, and he just makes everyone look amazing when he wants to. He's just so good. As long as Randy's on, he's on. And then, I just thought it was an absolutely incredible match. Like I mentioned before, I wish Keith had got a bit more noise on that Grizzly Magnum. Just so that it looked like, he could fire back against those chops, because those chops sounded nasty. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought that he's just so impressive. His athleticism is just unbelievable. I really like Keith Lee. I'm a big Keith Lee fan. I can't wait to see what he does next.
Nice. Steve, what did you think?
Yeah, just like what everyone else said. Keith Lee's probably one of my favourites at the moment. From NXT, everything he's done, North American Championship all the way up to here, just absolutely love everything he's done. He's impressed me so much. He's incredible, isn't he? Randy, again, I can't say, there's not much more to say other than what we've said over the last few weeks. He's just incredible himself. Absolute pro, veteran of the game. You see it in everything he does. Everything's got meaning behind it. Everything's fluid and smooth, like Liam said. Probably, I think it was a better moment than a match. The moment, the spot, Keith going over clean in 6 minutes over Randy Orton. Like, what a moment that is. How incredible that was. When I look back at the match, I wouldn't say it's one of my favourites of the nights, but I would say it's one of my favourite moments of the night. For me, the only other match that competes for match of the night is the next one. But yeah, I really enjoyed it for what it was. It was what it needed to be. It was incredible. I didn't think they'd pull the trigger on this. I didn't think they'd have Keith go over so quickly over Randy, and I'm really happy they did. It makes him look straight into the title picture, straight up to the top of the card.
Yeah, it did. It's built him up really quickly to just slot him in nicely at the top where he belongs in my opinion. I think.
Big boy.
Yeah.
As Brock Lesnar said.
As Brock Lesnar said at the Rumble.
He's just something different and something special, isn't it? Anyone can just look at him in the ring performing and just... You don't even need to know anything about wrestling. You see a big guy moving like that with such... And the guy's got such charisma and just so much talent that he's got everything he needs to succeed and be one of the best.
They've definitely strapped a rocket onto him, because if you look at all of his pins and his the stuff that he's done when he's been on main roster pay-per-views, he's pinned Seth. He fought against Roman at Survivor Series. He squared up to Brock Lesnar.
He played a good showing against Lesnar.
He's gone over Randy. Keith Lee's had an incredible run already. Just from the odd spots that he's been on main roster pay-per-views and not NXT ones. And then if you factor in all his NXT stuff as well, you can tell that he's straight away that the man's a superstar. He deserves that main event top spot. So yeah, I really can't wait to see what happens with him. Please don't spoil it, Vince.
I'm sure Randy will have to get the wins back, and he'll beat him twice, and then he'll be in the mid card.
Oh, give him the Kevin Owens treatment.
Yeah, he's going to get a full KO treatment.
I don't want that for Keith.
We can only hope it doesn't happen. So following on from this match, we get a backstage segment where Paul Heyman sort of weaves his way around saying that Roman's still not signed the contract. But he does promise that he is in the building and he will leave with the championship. We then get a package just basically showing Seth destroying the Mysterios over the last few months, weeks, whatever you want to call it. He's just decimated a whole family. Then we move into the match, which was Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus Seth and Murphy. The match finished where Murphy kicked Seth in the head when he was meant to kick Rey. This then opened up for Rey to hit Murphy into the ropes, tag Dom in. Dom hit a 619, threw Rey over to some set flip powerbomb Seth on the outside of the ring, whilst Dominic hit a frog splash on Murphy for the win. The match was 16 minutes dead on. My takeaway from this match was Dominic learnt his lesson from SummerSlam and didn't wear a hood this time.
I knew you were going to say that. Swine, that's one of my points.
There were some really beautiful sequences where all four of them were in and out of the ring, just trading moves on each other. And I really enjoyed the finish. My only thing is, do you not think that the frog splash is just really overplayed at the moment?
Yeah, it's the new super kick.
Everybody's doing a frog splash at the moment. I get its lineage for Dominic, because his daddy,
his second
Eddie,
father.
His dad Eddie did it. But from the looks of it, Eddie's had many kids in the roster at the moment. And he's just passed down that move to everybody. Must have been some clause in his will. But yeah, I fully enjoyed this match. Thinking about it now, actually, I think this was actually my favourite match. Like I know I said the last
Don't
one
copy
was,
that.
but yeah, no, like
I'm only joking.
you know,
I'm
just
joking. I'm joking.
as you say things, you kind of just have this realization. It's like,
Yeah.
Stephen might be joking, but I'll take that point on. You wimp. You wimp.
Shush. I had the better joke before anyway, so it's fine.
It's not over yet.
No, not yet.
Over till Retribution turns up.
Yeah, but it's fine. We're talking about a pay-per-view. We won't see any Retribution.
Yeah, they don't turn up pay-per-views.
Fine. Richard, what did you think?
Just
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, crikey. Just make it a tornado match. Why make it a normal tag match if you're just gonna turn it into tornado rules by the end of it, and then just bring it back down to earth just for the finish? Just make it. Like, why do we not do these matches anymore? These are good matches, and if this was a tornado match the whole way through, this could have been so much better. Like, it was good, but it could, could have been better. That's my main take from it. There was some nice bits from Ray. I think, is it called like the bit where you said Dominic slid him out the ring? Is that a baseball slide into another move?
Was it
No,
called
he slid him onto his belly, didn't he? So
Yeah. Honestly, it wouldn't have
that?
been.
No, the end of the match when he throws Ray out, and
yeah, he threw him out and he sunset flipped.
that's the one sunset flip.
Yeah.
That was
No, it was good. It was a good match. There was obviously father and son. They really work well together. There was a bit where I can't remember exactly, but Dominic like flipped Murphy over his shoulder, and then Ray ran into the ropes and double leg drop kicked him. It was nice. It was nice to see. Normally, when you have tag team partners, like, you're invested in your tag team partner and you're worried about them, but to see a father really at the side of the ring panicking about the fact that his son's getting beaten up, it was good. I don't like the way that Rey Mysterio says Seth so much. It weirds me out. Don't do it, Seth. Like, just call him a name. Call him something bad. Don't call him by his Christian name. But yeah, bring back the tornado match. Hashtag bring back tornado matches.
Release the Snyder Cut. Steve, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, like I said before, this for me is the other contender for match of the night. Between the two tag team matches, tag team wrestling's back in WWE.
It's not.
No, yeah.
Can we just
outside of the actual tag team championships?
Yeah, we're not talking about the tag
they weren't on there. Yeah.
That's not that. We're talking about these.
Shinsuke was in the Thunderdome, no? Did you not see him on one of the screens?
Really?
Yeah, Shinsuke was on one of the screens.
What was that?
I think it was during the Keith Lee and Randy Orton match. You could see Shinsuke.
No, I know we had a Maurice lookalike at one point. There was definitely a Maurice lookalike on the screen.
Yeah. I'll have to go back for that.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, if the tag titles can't be on the cards, then Shinsuke will buy his way in.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this match. Dom looks better every time he gets in the ring. He's grown in confidence. You can see there's some natural ability there, which in years' time, obviously, he's not just going to be the best in the world overnight, but he's got potential. He looks really good to me. Seth being Seth, just Seth being heel work, best in the business, as we said last week. Enjoy that. Some of the spots Richard mentioned, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a fun match, just good work all round, really. And yeah, Dom getting the win with the combination of his two dad's moves. It was really nice to see.
He also had to get down to Ray's level as well when they were celebrating the match. Did you notice he kneeled down to
to be on the same? Like, why is he so tall?
Because Eddie's his dad.
That doesn't make sense. Eddie wasn't that tall.
Eddie was small as well, yeah.
How tall's his mum? Is he the same height as his mum?
No,
and she's a bit taller than Ray.
Yeah,
his mum is taller than
yeah.
Ray. It's a bit awkward. That was a bit awkward as well when they were like, "Hi," last week at SummerSlam.
But yeah, overall, yeah, I really enjoyed this match. It was fun. But, I don't really. That's what I got out of it. It's just fun to watch.
Liam, what about you?
So I still think that Seth is probably the best heel that they've got at the minute, just in terms of like pure heel work. Just listening to him go, "Where's Angie? Where's Angie? Where is she?" I was like, I hate you.
Completely agree.
He needs his laugh back. His little
Yeah.
His cackle.
He needs his cackle.
Yeah. But no, I thought the match was really good. Dominic, you can just tell, can't you, that Dominic has just got like an innate talent for wrestling. Like he's clearly been watching his family and learning and just sort of absorbing it all. Whether that family is the Mysterios or the Guerreros, you decide on that one. But I think if he could just add a few more moves into his repertoire, he'd be a solid wrestler. Because I think he's a bit arm drag heavy at the minute.
Yeah,
like,
he's so early.
I think he's gone down Chris Jericho's list of 1,004 holds. Just been like,
I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him move down to NXT after this. Get a bit of developmental chops behind him.
Oh, that'd be
really,
nice.
Really build himself as a really
give him
grow.
A place to, give him a place to grow.
It's a shame Lucha Underground isn't still going. That'd have been.
Have you watched that?
Yeah.
Put him in a feud with Pat McAfee and see who the better amateur is.
But yeah, no, I thought it was really good. I know I've been ragging on Murphy for like the last few times, but I actually really enjoyed Murphy in this match. I thought that he finally got a chance to shine and show us what he can do in the ring, and I thought it was really good. So overall, just a solid match. Yeah, I liked it. It was good.
It is strange to say that now, though, isn't it? Like, oh, it's nice to see Murphy get in the ring when we used to watch him all the time in NXT, Blake and Murphy.
And they were good then.
They were great back then, but it's been so long. obviously people get to see him on Raw and SmackDown, but I only watch highlights of that. I don't spend much time watching them, but it is good to see him again.
Yeah, Blake Murphy and Bliss.
Yeah.
To be honest, the last time I enjoyed Murphy's work was the cruiserweight stuff he was doing.
Yeah, it was really good.
He had really good showings on 205 Live and stuff. Like, not that anybody watches that these days, but
what is that?
It's a shame nobody watched it because it got really good when Triple H took over.
Yeah,
I think it was just too much wrestling.
It is, isn't it?
Like
That's
two brands and then NXT as well, and then 205
and then Johnny's over here trying to get us all to watch AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So it's just too much. Like, I don't have the time in my life.
Yeah, it is getting a lot, especially now that the network slapped on all the indie stuff.
I do want to go back and watch some of it though.
For us to go through.
Retro review.
Yeah, do you know what? I'll definitely be up for that. I'd love to see the rise of Drew through the indies on his way back. I think. I'd love to see a bit of like classic Ricochet as well.
Some Keith Lee back there.
I can show you some Ricochet if you want.
Is that on that fabled Lucha Underground?
Oh, it was so good. You should have watched it.
So
it wasn't called Ricochet though, was it?
No, Prince Puma.
Do you know what? When lockdown's done and I can come back round to your house, we'll sit down and we'll watch a whole marathon if you want.
Oh, go for it. Yeah,
Let's all do it. We'll all do it.
Yeah. We'll get some beers in, get some popcorn.
Yeah.
Sit down. We'll give you son an education.
I'm fine with that. Not like a proper education, just a wrestling education. Yeah, I don't want you doing your. You couldn't count down from 5 at the start of this, so. Best joke of the podcast. There you go. It's an inside joke.
Anyway, should we move on to the next match?
No. At the end of this match, there was a bit of a thing between Murphy and Seth as well. Do you not think?
Yeah, there was a stare down.
Looks a bit mad at Murphy, so maybe that's a bit of future sight. I said that this feud might continue a bit, but if that goes off in that way, I'm totally fine with that as well with Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy better start investing in eye patches.
Yeah. I can ask Alistair Black if he can borrow his. Okie doke. So moving on from that, we get a quick segment of the Hurt Business leaving the building. Seemed a bit pointless. We then get a recap of the Universal Championship match from SummerSlam and Roman's return. It then follows on to the segment that we got on SmackDown, I believe, of Adam Pearce trying to get all the boys to sign the contract, and only 2 out of the 3 of them signed it, as we found out in many other segments throughout the night.
I've seen this so many times.
Yeah, why put wrestling on a wrestling show when we can do backstage segments?
Crazy, absolutely crazy. So yeah, we get the final match of the night, which is the Universal Championship match, which was Roman Reigns versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman. Bray came out first with the normal championship around his neck, which totally told me he was dropping it. Lost all mystique straight away. Only The Fiend and Braun came out at the start. Roman took his sweet time backstage, chilling out, probably having a cigar with Paul, sat down, laughing at the boys, slugging it out. When Roman eventually came out, it led into the finish where The Fiend tried to do the mandible claw and rip out his shiny white teeth, but Roman was having none of it, and hit the Fiend in the plums, taking him out of the equation, and went into the shattered ring, which was also foreshadowed when you notice that all the ring posts normal and there's no LED lights all over the place.
Only that person on Reddit noticed it. Let's not all pretend we noticed all the time. That person on Reddit noticed it, and people were like, no. Let's not all pretend that we all noticed it.
I had no idea.
I am the person from Reddit. Roman speared Strowman for the win. The match was 12 minutes and 46 seconds. My personal opinion, I thought it was a real waste of time changing the title at SummerSlam if Strowman was just going to eat the pin anyway. You could have had some sort of shenanigans at SummerSlam leading into this, kept the title on Strowman, and just had him lose. The Fiend wouldn't have looked weak in any of those situations, I don't think. But
I don't think the Fiend would have had to lose at SummerSlam. I don't think the Fiend looks weak.
I'm not saying he should have lost at SummerSlam. I think it could have been a way of getting out of finishing the match as a thing and just having it as a non-conclusion.
Yeah, I also think we would have complained about that, though.
Yeah, but that's just WWE's gimmick at the moment, and they always give you something to complain about.
They finished the match, and then Roman Reigns came back, which was a bit of a surprise that no one saw coming. If he came back during the match, it wouldn't have been as... it wouldn't have had the impact that it had.
Yeah,
this makes Bray look stronger, because it's obviously going into a Bray-Roman feud. Strowman's out the picture now.
Yeah, with Bray being the face as well, I had to do a double take at the mandible claw thing, because there's that whole notion of whichever hand you get, your face or heel.
Right.
And he hit him with the hurt glove. So Roman's definitely got to be. Yeah.
Roman's going to be heel, but that doesn't mean that Bray has to be face.
They've done heel versus heel before.
They've just done it with Bray Braun. They're both heels, really.
True. Yeah,
and if he needed solidification on he's definitely heel, kicking him in the nads probably did that.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I'd kick somebody in the nads if they tried to rip out my new veneers.
Well, you're heel then, Alex. As simple as that.
Well, someone in this group has to be. When you've got the face champion, that is Liam.
Ooh.
I don't think there's a heel bone in Liam's body.
Look at him, his teeth are too shiny.
For the audio listeners, that was the Randy Orton pose. Very poorly done.
Right. I'll go to the champ first. What did you think of this match, Liam?
I thought this match was basically just a way to get the title onto Roman. Not to say it was a bad match, but it didn't really have that oomph that I was hoping for from a what was it? A no holds barred match.
Yeah,
they're all the same. These no DQ matches. I don't know why they've got like all these different names for them. Just call it a no DQ match, and I'm done with it.
See, a no holds barred match for me. See, if you just think of the name of it, that doesn't sound like you should be able to use weapons. That sounds like any weird, dodgy submissions you should be able to use.
See, no holds barred. No holds barred is the same as a no DQ, which is the same as a street fight, which is the same as a hardcore match. Yeah. It's just like.
But you have to finish it in the ring.
You have to finish in the ring, which is why it's not a false count anywhere, Michael Cole. Or Tom Phillips, whoever it was, because I can't tell the difference.
Even though the false count anywhere last week finished in the ring.
Yeah.
False count, well, the ring is anywhere.
Yeah, but it's just, you want to use that stipulation to its fullest extent, don't you?
It's an excuse to go backstage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Not just into Gorilla and come back out.
I was glad that they didn't do the whole, like, we're going to walk around the entire arena. I was very pleased that didn't happen, because I don't really like that shtick when it comes to these sort of matches. I feel like it drags on a bit too long. Shtick. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the ring imploding. Because to be fair, neither Bray nor Braun are exactly like
big show size.
Super heavyweights, like ultra heavyweights.
What's
like
Braun like?
When you see Big Show come off the ring and make the ring explode, yeah, fine, I get it. When you see Braun come off the ring, you think, yeah, but he did like a diving thingy-majiggy like 2 weeks ago and the ring didn't collapse then.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like sometimes you can get away with a superplex and the ring's fine, and then other times you do a superplex and the ring collapses, and it's like whoever's building these rings needs to be fired.
Braun Strowman is billed at 385.
Yes, he's not.
He's heavier than I thought he was. Then I thought he was about 330, 340.
Well, muscle weighs more than fat, my friend.
He's a very muscly man, I must say. Well, yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine for what it was. Roman coming out late in the match. I get it. He's the heel. It's a good heel tactic. Let your opponents soften each other up and then do your run in there.
The ultimate opportunist.
It did feel like a sort of ultimate opportunist sort of thing. And I don't really understand why other heels don't do what he did and just go for the plums in a no-holds-barred or a DQ match. Like, if I was in a DQ match, that'd be the first thing I'd do. Whether I was a face or a heel, I'd go.
Just low blowing everybody.
You wouldn't come up
because you wouldn't go straight to ref calls.
Of course, no. Collar and elbow title. No, low blow.
I hate when
there's a choice between a collar and elbow and a low blow in a no DQ match. You're going for the low blow. Come on.
I hate when there's a no disqualification match or there's a feud where they absolutely despise each other and then they come out and collar and elbow. Yeah, they collar and elbow straight away.
Or they get into like that.
On a good old-fashioned match.
That bingo one where they like wiggle the fingers at each other until they grab it. I don't know what.
And then they just kick him in the gut anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's very similar to what I said last week when it was the street fight match, and I was like, why don't they just get out the weapons straight away? Why are they having just a normal wrestling match?
Yeah, it seems silly, doesn't it?
But it was fine. It was fine. I don't think it was anything special. I think there were a lot better matches on the card, but it wasn't bad. It was fine.
Steve, what did you think?
Okay, yeah. So I thought it was an okay match. I thought it was much better than the SummerSlam match. It kept me entertained more. I honestly, there was a point when I thought my predictions was going to be true. They were going to actually get the pin before Roman comes out, even though my prediction was for Roman to leave. But yeah, I like the Mallet. The Mallet came back. That's kind of fun, isn't it? I suppose. I enjoyed the ring break because I haven't seen it in a long time, and when you do things so sparsely,
Yeah, I'm glad
fine
they
with
don't do it
normally.
often.
Yeah, because every single time it breaks in the exact same way, the same corner, the same drop, and then the second drop. It's always
It's like
exactly
it's a
the same.
mechanism, isn't it? Is it a
I
mechanism?
know, yeah, mechanism. It'd be nice if you could say it. Yeah.
Tom Riddle casted a spell backstage on the ring.
Claps on.
I'm starting to think the neck snap thing's getting a bit overused.
Yeah, until he kills someone with it, I'm not happy.
Yeah, it seems a bit weird now. It just seems weird that he keeps doing it. Like I said in the prediction, this could have been the moment for Retribution, but now I feel like that there's no way of saving it at this point.
Do you mean
That
Roman Retribution reigns?
Roman Retribution reigns could have saved it. Like I was saying to Alex with the Dark Order, they saved that with Brody Lee and stuff. So, you could take some notes from that. The Alexa stuff was weird.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I'm really glad
Yeah.
that we remembered that she existed this time, but she just sat there twiddling her hair, and it led to nothing, and then it was gone.
Yeah, watching
like,
it
all
by
right.
another ring.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
in the performance center, just watching the screen. Like, if she's in a different building, why not just watch it from home?
Yeah, but doing that thing where they watch it from the side.
From the side, like, oh, like, you can't see it.
Are you just jealous because she can twiddle her hair and you can't?
I wish I could grow hair.
Well, she's twizzled her hair too much, hasn't she? Because she's got a braid now, apparently. No, I'm being serious. She's got a Bray Wyatt braid now. It's part of the storyline. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was good. It was better than SummerSlam. I enjoyed it for what it was. Again, probably nowhere near the best match on the card. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about this one.
Yeah. Richard, I will come to you in a second. Just noting on that whole she stood next to another ring, was that set up for a SmackDown taping?
It could have been. It could have been SmackDown taping, the pre-recorded.
When you mentioned that she was stood next to a ring, it was very blue, and I know that the only thing that sort of it's not even in the performance center. It's back at Full Sail, so they've not bothered to do anything in that performance center.
Isn't SmackDown not Thunderdome?
Yeah, everything's in the Thunderdome now, so they've not bothered to do anything with the performance center since. Oh, that's quite lazy on their part, I think.
Unless it was pre-recorded weeks ago.
Yeah,
someone was supposed to press play at SummerSlam, but they forgot to press the play button.
Yeah, we should have kept
we'll just use it next week.
Just photoshops that match into the TV. It was a SummerSlam match, really.
It was a blue screen.
Rich, what did you think of the match?
I think it's like, now that we just mentioned Alexa Bliss again, I feel it's rather weird that they included her in that if Braun's no longer going to be in a storyline with the Fiend.
I think it's her and the Fiend now.
Yeah, I feel like it's not really.
She was there to play with Braun, really, wasn't she?
Yeah, it's not like they've really done much with the storyline of Alexa Bliss to do with that. So for it to just be like, oh, we're going to include it a little bit, but not fully. And then I can't really see how she's going to benefit the story between Bray and Roman Reigns at all. So it is a bit weird, that. Very weird indeed. The match was good. It was a lot better than the SummerSlam match. I stayed awake during it, which is good. The spot off the entrance ramp, the bit at the top where they took a splash, I thought the Fiend really hurt his arm in that, because he kind of like stuck it behind him, and I thought, oh crikey, that's another separated shoulder and a terrible match to follow.
We're not letting this go.
Yeah. We're all salty about that shoulder, aren't we?
I didn't see the ring break coming. It was good. And then when Roman Reigns came out, I thought that is a really good bit of storytelling, that. And the fact that he didn't just come down, pin, and get it done with, like, they actually, put up a bit of a fight. I think he tossed the Fiend out of the ring and then hits Braun with a spear, which looked really good on a broken ring, because it was like a weird collision with the Max. It was obviously not straight. Yeah, good. I'm happy with it. It was, Roman Reigns got the title. It didn't really make Braun or the Fiend look weak, which was good. And I'm looking forward to see what Paul Heyman brings to the whole storyline with Roman Reigns. I'm actually like really invested in Roman Reigns throughout the storyline, so that's good.
It's interesting. It's
Yeah,
something different, isn't it?
I hope the repackages music, because that's the one thing that really takes away from anything that he does, I think.
Yeah, he's still clinging on to
Still the
the
shield, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
Shield all these years. He never got his own.
And the big like dog barking graphic as well is just a bit childish. Like if you're gonna make him like a bit of a monster heel, a big thing going woof woof behind him when he's walking
Woof,
down
woof.
the ramp is a bit
Watch out, it's the big dog.
yeah.
I'm also glad he didn't have the vest on. Maybe, hopefully, we get.
Well,
I feel really weird saying it out loud, but I hope we get a topless Roman Reigns wrestling. As if I've just said that.
Well, the tactical vest gives him an unfair advantage.
It does, especially
That's why
against
he can take
kendo
so many
sticks.
chair shots.
Yeah.
Especially if
How's he going to go up against kendo stick Dominic Mysterio? Dominic's never going to stand a chance.
Well, what if Braun Strowman learns how to use a Stanley knife?
Do you mean a box cutter?
Yeah.
Come on.
Nailed it.
For the American viewers out there.
Hey, they had product placement on that knife this time round in the package. They actually showed the brand name on it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just hope he sort of gets a little bit of a repackage. You can tell he's a bit more gritty because he was swearing a bit in the ring as well, wasn't he?
No, naughty Reigns.
Naughty Reigns. He called a referee a female dog and told him to count.
Yeah, did.
It's all with dog.
Oh, wow.
It's Roman, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's all dog affiliated stuff. That's.
I feel like I might go back and watch the ring break because I remember the referee doing a really comical fall over the ropes.
Charles took a bump.
Yeah.
Charles.
He like collapses backwards, realizes there's no ropes. And
And he's like, oh! I hope he's okay.
Brilliant. Great.
Yeah, he's no spring chicken either. Like,
No, he's not.
He's taking bumps like that.
He's one of the senior refs, isn't he? So he's been around. Yeah. I mean, anyone who didn't see this Roman Reigns victory coming, like, come on, man.
Sorry.
How can the Fiend rule when
It's
Roman
me.
Reigns? Like, you
Yeah.
can't have anyone else ruling. Stay, not when Roman Reigns.
I know.
Don't work
Anyway,
like that.
Are we going to talk about our general thoughts of the show?
Yeah, I think I covered it at the start. I enjoyed this pay-per-view. It was good. Some good high caliber. Well, I say high caliber, like good quality matches. Some enjoyable spots, apart from everybody using the frog splash these days. But
Frog Slash Party.
Frog splash counter.
it was good. It had everything. It had people getting dropped through food tables, showing that we can just waste food willy-nilly. Salty pretzels in Baron Corbin.
Is this the vegan in you that's annoyed about this, Alex? What a waste of meat product.
It is, yeah. Heel Daniel Bryan was the best thing ever to happen, especially like when he was trying to save the world.
Definitely the best alternate title, I reckon. The hemp title.
Yeah.
That was
It was
great.
pretty cool. It was cool.
Overall,
I agree with you. I thought this was a pretty good show. The 2.5 hour run time really helps a show like this. It's like an NXT takeover, that kind of length. You just get a few decent quality matches. It seems better because nothing's dragging on. You're not getting bored. Last time I said I liked the Thunderdome, but since then we've had conversations about all the dodgy stuff that's showing up in the background, and now it's distracting me, and I don't like it anymore. There was a guy with an AEW shirt at one point I saw. I didn't see any.
Shouldn't be allowed.
Shouldn't be, but well, that's what Vince says, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've gone from liking it to kind of it being a distraction because of everyone pointing out all the weird stuff that pops up every now and again. There was a guy in a wedding dress at one point, and then they cut him off. Me and Alex noticed it. There was a guy sitting in a wedding dress, and then they cut it off. Like, What's offensive about that?
Poor guy, just trying to celebrate his wedding.
Yeah.
And you cancel him. Wow.
I didn't get that. I don't get why they cut him off.
There was a bit of everything last night. Like there was a guy in blue eyeshadow at one point, just randomly. There was a girl who kept putting a pop figure up to the screen.
Yeah.
Like just full face, like the Pringles like label at one point. It's just getting silly now. We've had Pikachu on the screens before now. Like Kenny Omega's even made a cameo.
I know.
On an episode of SmackDown, just trying to have a good time.
I think my favourite one so far was the person who had the camera under their chin and they were just eating crisps. That was the best one. It was so funny. Just like this upward angle of their entire face and they were just eating crisps.
Why don't they just get people that they know and have a room backstage with like loads of computers and webcams and they can watch it live and they can react live. There'll be no delay, there'll be no latency. You know, even if it's just the people that they used to have in the crowd at the other matches behind the plexiglass, just have them doing it. Like, and at least then the crowd can react to what's happening in the ring rather than having artificial noise pumped in and make that being what we perceive as what's happening in the ring. Like just have people that you know. Like all these wrestlers have families. Why can't they just have those people doing it? Surely they trust those people.
What do you mean, those people?
No, I don't know. I don't know what I said. I've forgotten already, so I'm not gonna go back.
Right, since Rich spoke a little bit, then let's have Liam's general thoughts.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good pay-per-view. It was a solid pay-per-view. I think it was a lot better than SummerSlam was. I think the overall match quality was a lot better. Storylines were... They're starting to get... You could see that they were either coming to their sort of climax or getting quite close to that payoff. I think I kind of agree with the whole Thunderdome stuff, though. Like, I don't like the Thunderdome. It looks nice, but I feel like there's too much risk for the reward that they get out of it. But yeah, no, it was a good pay-per-view. I enjoyed it.
Rich, any closing thoughts?
The Thunderdome thing, I feel like AEW did the crowd thing first, and you know WWE copied it, and then WWE stepped it up, and I respect them a lot for that. Like what they've done is very inclusive and very good. The pay-per-view as a whole, it was a lot better than SummerSlam, I must say. The matches were a lot better. The progression in some of the storylines was a lot better. It was only 2.5 hours. It didn't feel like 2.5 hours. Like it was a good length. It was a good length. I'm looking forward to where the storylines go now from here, especially with a couple of the belts. It was a very very solid show. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm glad I didn't watch it live because I'm not built to watch pay-per-views live, as I found out last Tuesday when I had a migraine and almost threw up while at work.
Yeah, we learnt the lesson really quickly on that one. I think
we're too old for that.
It was Alex's fault. I didn't want to stay up for the last match, and he was like, "Well, I'm gonna watch it," and I was like, "Fine, I'll try."
Sorry, it's probably the heel in me. Right, well, that brings us to a close. It's crazy what a difference a week made to the caliber of matches that you got. For anybody that's listened, did you enjoy Payback? If you didn't, let us know in the comments below, or just like have a think to yourselves, you listeners. Listen to us on the audios. Anyway, I've been your host today, Alex. I'm saying goodbye. Liam, say goodbye.
Bye.
Steve, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Richard, say goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.